Greetings to our next version of Marriage Matters. Yeah, you've probably heard the saying, marry someone you can live with. We believe that you should marry someone you can't live without.
This week, Tom and I attended a funeral of an old friend, and we've known him a long time. But when I hugged his wife in the receiving line, she said, "Oh, Barb, I've had him for 64 years. I thought I'd have him forever." And she just couldn't believe that she would have him forever. And after the funeral, I hugged Tom and I said, "This one is too close for comfort because I can't live without him." And that's the kind of marriage we have. And we're going to talk about this kind of love and we know, and we've told you this before if you watched any of the other videos, we want to share positive how-tos or just positive truths or just that marriage can be wonderful.
And if you've watched any of the other videos, you're going to hear us probably say the same things over and over, which are the reason we do that is because they are important.
And there are a lot of helps out there, you know. I mean, I this week went through lots of podcasts out there, and they're good. And they're good. Focus on the Family has wonderful videos or podcasts on marriage, and a lot of them, as I listen to, have helps for when you have trouble. But we kind of want to tell you what to do up front if you're newlywed.
Yeah, more preventive than trying to solve a problem. We're trying to prevent a problem.
I mean, everybody has issues and everybody has life stories and whatever. But with a love, you can work through this. And you may have heard it. You may have been given advice when you were younger, or you have told your teenage kids maybe you can't live on love alone. But we think you can.
Well, you do have to eat, obviously, but love goes a long, long way. And the Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. And it really means love does cover. It covers all of life. And if you really deeply care and love one another, forgiveness is a big issue. And we've talked about that one too, but very, very important.
But with this kind of love that you can live on, I mean, I don't know, some of you may follow Sean Dietrich. I'll put it in the discussion part, the spelling. He has 440,000, is that right? 440,000 followers, so some of you may know him, but he's a Mississippian writer and or Georgia, but he had one on love this last week. But what was so interesting, his blog was good, but the comments, there were hundreds and hundreds of comments of people who knew what he was talking about when he said you can live on love alone. I cried. Some of them were people. One lady said, "I've been married 64 years," and they write almost as much as he did. It's beautiful to read the comments on people who tell you about love, this kind of love. And so I encourage you to find positives about love. So what kind of love are we talking about? We're talking about grounded love. What does it mean to be grounded?
Grounded, maybe a better word is anchored. I like the word anchored. I know grounded is also a popular term in regard to relationships. But anchor is, it's something that holds you in the storms. And love is an anchor. It's the ship. Love's everything. And if you really have a deep love for one another, And we're not talking about just physical attraction. Maybe it started that way, but then you found out this is a person that I really like and someone that I can't live without. And so love begins to deepen, it gets stronger, and it does become an anchor for life.
It's an anchored love is you're centered and connected to each other together, and like you said, it holds in a storm. I asked AI one day this week, that's artificial intelligence, you know that, to describe or define marital love in 2 words. You know, you can ask AI anything, I guess. And do you know what he said, or it said? What did it say?
Right, you wrote it down.
Passionate connection.
Love is a passionate connection.
That's what AI says.
AI
So,
said.
Tom, how would you define a kind of love you can't live without in 2 words?
2 words. Well, I would say a magical attraction. Magical in, you can't explain it. Our kids used to come to us and say, Dad, Mom, usually went to Mom, when will I know I'm in love? And we would say, well, you'll just know. It's a magic thing. And it's an attraction, like 2 magnets coming together. It's hard to pull them apart. Love is an attractive thing, and it's still an attractive thing.
Well, more so now, even. I can see him opening a door and coming in a room if we're out in public in a big event place, and when he opens a door, I seem to know it, and I follow that. It's an attraction. That's a physical, I think.
Well, it's more than physical. Maybe it starts that way. You see someone, you're attracted to them, and then like I said, once you get to know them, you are attracted to the deeper part of their life, and when you see them, you feel this connection.
Well, and you keep learning those things that attract you. The first time, I've shared this on another video. The first time I saw Tom, I said, I'm going to marry that fellow.
To a friend seated next to her.
She was. And how did I know? I don't know.
That was an attraction, I guess.
I was 16. But, so I was attracted to him. But an important part of this kind of love is acceptance. Early on, and I don't know how many years we were married, I thought Tom was perfect.
Yeah, I was.
and that worked okay for a while, but I realized, hey, reality sets in, and he wasn't perfect. But you know what? That was okay. I realized that if I changed any one thing about just anything, he would not be the Tom Suter that I was attracted to at first. He'd been made something else. So one thing we have to know in this kind of love is acceptance. I accept you exactly how you are.
Yeah. Well, it has to be both ways.
You accept me.
I do.
Warts and all.
And we said that when we married, and we meant that as we stood in the altar. But it's even more important after 60 plus years of marriage to still be able to say, I'm connected to you, I accept you, I love you, I have a passion for you, you are the most important person in my life.
So this kind of love is not only accepting, it's an honest love, it's a real love, it's supportive. I was reading this week about Ron Howard. Some of you will know Ron Howard as Opie on Mayberry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course now Ron Howard is a really very good director. He's won many Oscars or
Awards. Yeah.
Right. But he, you know what? He and his wife, Cheryl, I think it's Cheryl, have a wonderful marriage. They met in high school, and they talk about their love. I thought I was reading about us, the words he used is, and they'll soon be married 50 years. But he says, she's what matters to me. And
Well, he described her as his grounding or his anchor
she
because
grounded him.
in Hollywood, as you know, is not very well known for long established marriages, and they've had a long established marriage, and it's because they found an anchor in each other, and their love is strong, and they are a testimony, really, to that community of what a strong, healthy marriage relationship is like.
Well, he credits their marriage, and they'll be, like I said, they'll be married 50 years this year, I think. And you can go read their marriage. It's another very positive, in the words he uses. But he gives the three reasons as shared values. We've talked about those. Open communication. You've heard that from us. And making time for each other. Well, the last video was make time for touch.
Yeah,
and
very important. You must make time to build a strong relationship.
Even when you have children, I mean, you're building time together.
Well, you can imagine Ron Howard very busy in acting and directing, but still, you got to make time to be together, and so I think that is a testimony to how important that is.
And so he says their marriage isn't perfect, their story isn't perfect. He said it's better than that. It's real. So I would say we're real. I mean, we'll tell you, we can argue. I can get mad at him.
Yeah, you can.
But it's okay. When you have open communication and you can share these things and that's normal. It's normal as you have to work through that. But some of these comments that I read about living on love alone, they talked about the hard times they'd gone through and what it did to them, how their love deepens when you go through trials and hurtful times, like Tom said. That's the anchor. Love is the anchor. 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with Q fever, and that's not a normal thing. Only 200 people a year get it in America. Lots of people get it in Australia. But I got chronic Q fever because of some other things, and so it was very hard. It's a difficult time. I lost so much weight that people around me thought I was going to die.
She was very sick for
They thought I was going to die.
a number of months, yeah.
I didn't think I was going to die. I thought I was going crazy. But Tom Suter held me every day, or every time I would think or say something about going crazy, and he would hold me. He said, "Barb, you're going to be okay. We're going to make this. You're going to be okay." And I did. I made it. But it wasn't until 2 years ago that I heard or realized he didn't think I was going to make it. I don't know if he thought
there were moments that I had questions about how she was going to get over this. She had Lyme disease to start with, and this on top of that compounded it, and she was very sick. And so, but I would never let her know that I felt that way, and I didn't feel that way very often. I really believe that we would make it through this, and we have. So I think that's important.
Tom's words, not only did they anchor our life, our marriage, they anchored me during those moments. So you can't. We've talked this week. We're not sure we can define love.
It's hard to define. Love is hard to define. When you experience love, when you're receiving love from someone, and you know when you're giving love to someone. But sometimes it's just very difficult to put it into words.
Well, or it's hard. It's hard to kind of give you 1, 2, 3, 4. These are, if you do these things, you'll have a good marriage.
Well,
There's
even if we gave you a definition, a clear definition of love, it would be from our perspective, and that might not be true for you. So you've got to find your own definition of love between you and your special partner.
Well, not only to find the definition, you have to find the way. Excuse me. I mean, if you've listened to these videos, we've talked about the 5 love languages, his needs, her needs, the triumphant marriage, and what that author says are things that they say are important and necessary. We've tried to share those with you. But you know what? And those things will guide you and help you, make some decisions or find a way, but you will find your own beautiful way to make your marriage successful, beautiful, and a relationship you can't live without him and he can't live without you.
Okay. Until then, keep on loving.
Loving.